Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a general read from I'm dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, Drop the 3 Tarot Pages Review as well. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on. Whoa, that's interesting. Huh. Interesting. I don't normally get those kind of messages, Sagittarius. What is the emphasis on the evil eye or the all-seeing eye? Here we go again. I noticed this energy keeps coming out for you pretty recently. But what's with the evil eye or the all-seeing eye? Because whatever this is for them, are they trying to like give you the evil eye? Because there's some, energetically speaking, there's like some sort of barrier or whatever this eye energy is. It's either preventing something or allowing something. Well, there's the devil coming out. Heads up, Sagittarius. It's towards you. It's towards you directly. Okay. I guess just jumping right into this. I'll try and be nice, but clearly their energy is not nice. Goodness gracious. Once again, they're having a difficulty. What is that? I don't understand that. What is the difficulty? What in a situation or circumstances is being controlled against? I don't understand that. What is being controlled or manipulated against their will? And what does that have to do with you? Because it feels like something's being controlled or manipulated or kind of directed. I'm not gonna say orchestrated, but definitely directed. And whatever this is, it's like, energetically speaking, it's like someone's in timeout. I have not seen this before, so I do appreciate the information. It's like someone's being put in like timeout. It's like, go to the corner, think about what you've said, think about what you've done, think about your actions, think about your behavior. Like, what is that energy? You kind of think of authority figure. um Lately the pattern and theme has been like spiritual authority. Sometimes it'll come out and be like, energy. What is that with you? I don't understand that. I mean, they are toxic. Just point blank toxic. Sagittarius with that devil energy coming out, point blank toxic. I don't understand that. It almost kind of shows up like energetic vampire. Like energetic vampire. Just it's when you think about vampires, for the example, they have to be invited in. There has to be an invite. There has to be like an invitation in a sense. Like in order to cross a line, in order to enter a home, in order to enter someone's like personal space, there has to be an invite or an invitation. But once again, like what is with? I mean, they do emphasize the connection of some sort between you, but I don't know what extent or degree. Um, I don't understand that. Once again, Sagittarius, the energies, your energy and their energy. Once again, the angel and the devil scenario example. It's not mixing. It's not mixing. It's the typical saying of like Dracula when they hold up the crucifix or the cross to the the Diablo, and he's like, and he kind of hisses away like a cat, and then he kind of has to like, and he kind of his face morphs and shifts, and he has to like readjust and posture himself and act like he's not affected by it. Or when he grabs it and his hand starts to shake and starts to sizzle and burn, and he's like, and he has to go through the process of like whatever this energy is between the two of you. This is weird. I'm looking at an energetic vampire, and when you think about energetic vampirism, that means harvesting. That means if it's not physical vampire, they don't bite the neck. they're siphoning energy, kind of like a black hole. I mean, damn, there's a Three of Swords. Like, what is their deal? Like, what is, I mean, look at that energy. They're trying to put, and there you are, Sagittarius. Hold on. There you are as the angel showing up on top of the deck. Like, they're having, oh my gosh. They're like having to, they're having to, like, I need to step away. I need to step away. Because it's like, what is this energy? Gotta step away, gotta step away, gotta step away. That is like a moth to a flame. Unfortunately, it's a vampire smelling you. Unfortunately, not to kind of sound creepy and weird, but it's creepy and weird. And they're trying to figure out how do I. It's almost like how do I get into Sagittarius's good graces? How do I get into Sagittarius's house, the house of Sag? How do I get entry? How do I get? Oh my goodness. They're like, hey, look at this. They're like, yeah, let me try it. This is, oh my goodness. This is very similar to who Aries was dealing with yesterday or asking about yesterday. They're like, I need to figure out and change my approach. I need to figure out my angle. Uh-oh. Nothing. Nothing. They are emphasizing you were too, oh my gosh. In other words, they're emphasizing and realizing too problematic, too problematic, too risky. I shouldn't fuck with Sagittarius. Ooh. Ooh. Did you put up a cross or a crucifix above your door? Or were you wearing one when they knocked on your door? What is that? There's the world. That's the door. It's like, fuck that, close the door. Look at that. They're like, fuck that, close the door. Done. Wow. Okay. So because their tactics couldn't work fast enough on you, they're like, oh fuck, Houston, we have a problem. Radio over. Abort. Abort mission. Um, Go figure. You go like this to them, and they kind of have the same energy and same response of, like, when Dracula only kind of pulls his cape over, or his like cloak over, and hides his face, and shies away. That's what this is. Why is it the same Aries? I was gonna say, why is it the same Aries? Why is it the same energy that Aries was dealing with? Why is it the same energy? Watch Aries come out. I'm looking at the same energy. I'm looking at the exact same energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the grin. There's the grin and bear it, and having to laugh it off. There it is. The same response. Same response, Sagittarius. Exact same, to it, literally to a T. Same response to a T. That's weird how they kind of respond to this. They're responding a little bit different. Like I said, they're trying to kind of laugh this off as if it's like none of that just happened. Like I said, Vlad Dracula. Like, it never just happened. And right here, they're trying to save, right here, they're trying to save face. Like, they're unaffected, they're not affected by this. As if they just weren't kind of like shying away from you over there. But yet, there's the Five of Swords. Yeah, kind of like with their tail between their legs. But they kind of like scamper and whimper off. And even though they're trying to kind of try and smirk and run away with this, ultimately they're like, damn, Sagittarius checked me. Weird. And there you are on top of the deck again, Sagittarius. You a guardian angel? You an angel or guardian angel? Damn, so they switch over to the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's the Five of Cups. They're not happy about it. So even when they're sneaky and shady, they're not happy about it. Okay, here we go. It got to a point where this was so much energy of like after all this. So when they ran away after that door was closed on them, they had to go to attend to they had to go attend to their wounds. Interesting. Very interesting. They're kind of like, fuck it. That's how they kind of responded, fuck it. But what is this energy where it's kind of like they now for some reason they're on the outskirts of, let's just say for the example, they're on the outskirts of the town or the village, right? For the example of Dracula, in the town or the village people, the community, you can kind of say. What is this energy over here where they're like, fuck, I need to kind of like re-strategize everything and rethink and consider how I go about doing things? Oh my gosh, the Tower reversed? What is that? They're emphasizing like you win some, you lose some, but that was a huge. They're emphasizing like that was a huge loss. Now this is merging into who Aries was asking about. Same energy. There's Aries. I mean, I know it's almost a full deck, but yeah. And there you are, Sagittarius. Now let me ask this. Don't mind the artwork. You're sitting next to the High Priest and the High Priestess. So what seems to be the problem? What seems to be the problem? And why do they feel like now they need to kind of like watch themselves and check themselves now more than ever? They know they royally fucked up. Here's the thing. With that Seven of Swords, they know they royally fucked up. That's the thing. They know it. They know that. But the weird thing is, energetically speaking, they're trying to get into the good graces of, I don't know if it's still you or if it's others. For some reason, it's almost kind of like their reputation or their credibility, even though they present themselves like Dracula, seems to be on the line. But once again, with the High Priest and the High Priestess in Temperance, that's you. Why is it an energy of like, watch your back? What is with this energy of like, because something over here, it's like the community telling this person or telling this energy, watch yourself. Because even for a split second, they still want to be sneaky and shady. And it's like, you better fucking watch yourself. Like I said, with this Tower showing up reverse, remember how this reading started? The eye in the sky. Everyone knows upright is, what the sky doing, what's got to do. Reverse means this isn't their first time trying to pull this shit. It's a repeated process that they do, like Dracula. returns to the community over and over and over again looking for his victim. That's Dracula. Who to kind of like siphon energy off of, in other words, because they're an energetic vampire. I mean, and for some reason, they have their eye on you too. Like, oh, you're a problem. At least you're in the sense of, because they're the huge problem. Now they perceive you as a problem because you're aware that they're such a huge problem. Go figure. The problem calling someone else the problem, projecting it onto them because they know how big of a problem they just made for themselves. It's okay, Dracula. Okay. The church is the problem, right, Dracula? The crucifix is the problem because you can't get your way with it. Is that what you're saying? Because it's your weakness. They're re-strategizing. They're still trying to re-strategize. Unfortunately, they're looking to. That's the whole deck. They're running around to people. They're sniffing around. Unfortunately, they're sniffing around the town, the village, the community. Um, who looks like a good idea? Who looks like someone that's approachable? Who looks like someone that would invite me in other words. Goodbye.